Welcome to Second Take, the show that focuses on the issues behind the news. The palladium price is poised to exceed the platinum price for the first time since 2001. Martin Creamer joins me in studio to discuss platinum's downward spiral. Hi Martin.
Hi Tracy.
What is driving the attractiveness of the palladium metal?
It's actually the move towards petrol-driven cars. And the biggest users of those petrol-driven cars are the biggest car markets of China and the US. So platinum is affiliated to diesel. The autocatalysis of the diesel vehicle need platinum. You can only use platinum really. And there has been a move away from diesel because of the Volkswagen scandal. We had that emissions scandal in the United States when Volkswagen claimed that the system they had in the vehicle was sufficient to meet the emission regulations of the United States. And when they checked on that, they found it wasn't. And there's a huge penalty that has been paid by Volkswagen, but it's nothing like the penalty that platinum is having to pay now. And we can see that it's had a precipitous fall in price. Really, it dropped last week to $893 per ounce, which is a shocking fall, because even it fell from $980 an ounce, and even at the 980 level, it wasn't a good price for the industry. And even at that stage, they said many of the platinum mining companies were running at a loss. But heaven only knows now, with this fall to, you can say at the moment, $900 per ounce, it's still unsustainable for our mining boys.
And why else has platinum been described as the worst performing precious metal in the year to date?
Yeah, you can see that even the speculators have got a negative sentiment towards platinum. So there's been a sort of a sell-off from stocks. There's also an uncertainty around how big those stocks are. It's a big question mark. We know that there is the recycling element, which does hit the mining primary supply. So the secondary supply comes in recycling, but there seems to be a secret third supply, and nobody quite knows what height that is. And you can see that it's lost out badly price-wise, but also the sentiment towards platinum is now down, and the macroeconomics being uncertain are also hitting it. So it's got several blows that have resulted in this price being low at a level that which a lot of the mining companies cannot carry on with loss-making ounces. So anywhere where they are going to mine and sell at a loss, they're going to have to rethink that, because there's also a supply issue. You want to cut down on supply. They have been cutting down on supply, but news from the industry is that the supply issue is not as big as these other issues that are now creating a sentiment which is a thumbs down for platinum.
And how is the price plunge specifically putting the industry at risk?
Well, if you're not really doing well, and even at last year this time when the price was much better, and earlier this year when the price was about $970 an ounce to $980 an ounce, people were hoping it would move towards the 1,000. It is completely de-linked from gold. There used to be that joining at the hip of the two, but this is the biggest distance between platinum and gold's price since 1987. And again, it's around the issues of emission control, the electric car coming up, electric vehicles, people thinking, well, will they need to have the platinum stocks that they got? They start selling off, and it pushes the price down.
And how is Amplats keeping its head above water?
Well, Amplats several years ago decided to divest from its deep mines and its more costly mines and mines that are more labor intensive, and it started selling those off, and it's about to probably sell the last big one, Union, by the end of the year. It seems confident that it will do that, and it moved towards mines that could be mechanized, even underground mines that could have trackless equipment, and then open cast mines. The Mogalakwena mine, is really a low cost mine. It's an open cast mine, one of the few open cast platinum mines. It's completely mechanized, and it also has got a lot of byproducts and co-products. Nickel can often add to the bottom line. So it's in a position where it is stating openly that none of its ounces are loss-making, but the ounces that come out of its joint ventures some of them are loss-making. But from its own assets, it's confident that it can keep going, because although 60% of its output is platinum, 25% of its output is also palladium. So it can benefit from that higher palladium price now, which can balance things. The rhodium price is also getting into better position. So with those byproducts, it's ensuring that it's not producing loss-making ounces, because we've got to avoid that. This whole ownership of the and custodianship of the mines in South Africa changed in 1994. The ownership doesn't really vest with the company. The ownership vests with the state, and that was the change. And licensing is given to the companies over a period of time. So they're really licensed to mine that over a period of time. And I think that it's really then, platinum is a national patrimony in which we all have a stake as citizens of South Africa. And we should not encourage this country to sell its ounces at a loss, because that is going to damage a national patrimony, and it's nobody's right to do that. And I'm sure there could be many ways in which the government could increase demand. They must look at the demand side as well. A lot of looking has been at the supply side. The supply side does need to be dealt with. People that are producing loss-making ounces must stop doing that, and their high-cost ounces must stop. They must only go into profitable ounces. But what about doing something to boost demand? There is a fuel cell which works. The Chinese just take a snap decision. They've got 18,000 buses now that are going to have fuel cells. They're going to be driven. That means like 8 grams and more per bus of platinum. And it's platinum, and only platinum. That's not substitutable, because palladium and hydrogen just don't mix. And the fuel of the fuel cell is hydrogen. So you can't have that substitution. The government could, you hear about schools every day that haven't got electricity because they're in the rural areas, they're off the grid. They could make sure that their schools have fuel cells. They could help, with the demand push. People have been talking about a platinum coin for ages. They've gone along to the mint and said, we want this platinum coin. Yeah, we don't know. Apparently they had it done separately in 28 days. They got this coin out. And I looked at it and I saw Mandela's face on it. So here we could have a Mandela coin in platinum. We should also have platinum as a reserve currency. Just as the Reserve Bank of South Africa holds gold, they should be holding platinum as well. You find the rules of reserve currencies around the world often suit the country. Obviously, if you're a great agricultural country, you can't put goats there, and you can't put tobacco leaves. But there are many permutations. Some of the countries even have as a reserve currency equities. So it's time now for us to have platinum as a reserve currency. The price wouldn't be down where it is now if we had those sort of demand pools. And so it really is a national patrimony. It's not being well managed at the moment, and the government obviously will look at the job side of things, and it will say, look, you can't stop producing because there are going to be job losses. Okay, if that's the point, then come into the party. Let's get the coin going. Let's get the fuel cells going in the stationary situations. Let's all government cars be driven by fuel cell cars. I mean, we don't want this emission going into the atmosphere. We're one of the few countries now that allows the emission levels. Cities around the world are fighting about this, and even, the mayor of Cape Town has joined this global mayoral college now that is saying, down with the dirty air. We've got to clean it, and platinum can clean it with the autocatalysis, but it can make it spotless with fuel cells.
Thanks, Martin.
It's a great pleasure, Tracy.
That's it for today. Join us again next week for more news analysis on South Africa's mining industry.